I'm just gonna type space again because we do need this heading. Once again, I'll put in length because we will be using that function. Then this column will be for the first name, other column will be for the second name. So we will just adjust this column from double clicking here. Okay, so now we can make a start. So if you remember how to do this, we do need to find the first space within the first name. So we will be starting with equals find open parentheses. Now it is saying find text. So we want to find space. So we will be putting it in double quotes and then comma. Within what text? So we will select this column here and we will close it off and press enter. And now we can just click, hold and drag and fill in the column. Now we will scroll back up. Now we need to find the length of the names. So now we'll start that by equals to LEN open parentheses and we will select this text from this column and close it off and then press enter. So it is saying that we have a total of 11 characters in this column. So we will just double click here and it will autofill the rest. So we'll scroll back to the top. Okay, so we can move on to getting the first name and we are going to use the left function to do this. So we will do this by going to the formulas, text, and we'll find left here. Here it says the text. So in text, it is just asking for the original text. So we will select it from here. And all you have to do at this point, just come to the space here and get the number 5. And as you can see, it's given us a sample answer of dawn. And all we have done there is just get this function to count 5 spaces from the left. So we can click OK there. And I'll use autofill to fill in the rest of this column just by double clicking right hand bottom side of this cell. And just double checking on the names, I can see that they are all correct, like this Dominic, Myra, Marcella, Carl, Jean. So yeah, it's all correct. Now we can move on to the second name. So I'll come to text here and all we want to do is come to the right function, which will be here. So we'll select that. Here we have to select the text, that will be the original text, which will be here. So we'll select that from here, and here in the number characters we'll have to select length first and we will subtract the space from the length. And as you can see in the sample answer, there is Larson, which will be the second name. So we'll click OK to that and we will double click on the right bottom side of the cell to autofill the rest. So you can see our first name and last name are segregated. I'll just scroll back to the top. Now the same problem as before. If I delete any of the data here, so I'll just delete that. You can see my answer disappears as well. So I'll just click Ctrl plus Z to get back where we were. So what I need to do is to select all of these names. I'll do that by selecting the first row and then Ctrl Shift down arrow to select all of these names, and I'll just copy them by clicking Ctrl plus C, and I'll just scroll back to the top and we can just paste it here in this column. So we'll go to the home. You can see a drop down on the paste, so we'll click here and we will paste it as values. So we'll do that. Now we can press escape. I can see that the size is a little bit off here and there, but that's okay. We can adjust that by double clicking here and here. Now it's looking good. And what you can do now is you can just delete this data, but I'll just leave these original names here. So at this point, just delete the data in the middle. So we'll just press Ctrl Shift and down arrow to select all of these columns, and we'll press delete to delete this. So like I said, there is a bit of an Easter egg with regard to this. So I'm going to show you how to split the data basically using an easy way. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select these two cells from here, and I'll hold down Ctrl Shift and down arrow just to select all these names. I'll come to the merge and center drop down and just select merge across to merge all these cells. And basically I have just merged these two cells for each of these different rows. And I'm just gonna open this up just a little bit to reveal the names entirely. Now it is fine. So like I said, this is the easy way of doing this. Just type in Dawn in this column here, and I'll just use autofill to fill in this column. And all we have at this moment is the name Dawn that is just being repeated. But that's okay. And here we have this option called autofill options. So we'll click on that, and then we will click on flash fill. And as you can see that Excel is basically worked out that I think this person is after the first line of data. So the Excel is clever enough to understand those kind of things. So now what I can do is I can just type in the second name here. I'll use autofill to fill in the rest of this column. I'll click on autofill options, flash fill, and here you go. And I'll just double click on the top of this column to open it up, and I'll do the same with this column also. So obviously that is the easy way of doing this. I had to just take you basically the hard way around to show you how to use these new functions.